Welcome back, people. Today we will learn about functions in Python. But before that, we will see what is naming conventions in Python. Naming convention is nothing but several conditions that we should be using while naming a variable or a function, or for the fact naming anything in programming. This will help us to better understand the code even if we are to look at the program after a very long time. So, some of the naming conventions that are applicable for naming a function and a variable are given as follows. The first one being we should name our function in lowercase characters. Always name our function in lowercase characters. If there are multiple words, then we have to separate them using underscore. Then always use meaningful and descriptive names for functions and variables. The fourth one is variable names cannot start with a number. So these are the basic naming conventions. Now let's look into functions. We almost learnt all the basics so far. It went so good. Now let's take the next step. Today we will learn about functions in Python. We still have a lot of basics to cover, but this will lead us to intermediate and advanced stuff. Functions become very useful when we have to organize our code. In order to organize our code, we need to break our code into smaller and more manageable and more maintainable chunks, which we call as functions. So function is a container for a few lines of code that perform a specific task. We previously learned a few of the inbuilt functions and object specific functions called methods. Example: print, input, append, etc. Each of these function has a specific purpose. They know how to perform a specific task. So when we build a large complex program with multiple different functions, I mean different tasks, we should break our code into smaller reusable chunks, which we called as functions. And it helps us better organize our code. So now let's write a simple program to print a message. We have two print statements, and let's say we want the same two print statement in some other program as well. We have to learn to reuse our resources. Here we have to learn to reuse our code. Functions helps in reusing the code. Let's see how we do that. First, let's declare a function. We use the keyword def, which is called a reserve keyword, which means define, to define a function. So we gave the function a name. Here the name is greeting underscore user. As we said earlier, when naming a function, we should always name it in small letters, that is lowercase letters, and also if there are multiple words, we should separate them using an underscore. That's what we did here. Now you can see that def, that is definition, is followed by the function name, followed by a parenthesis, and then a colon. We know that when we add a colon at the end of the line, we are defining a block of code. So when we press enter, the next line will be indented. Now any code that goes into the block belongs to this function. Let's take these two print statements and put it inside the function. So now, whenever we call this function in any part of the code, these two lines gets executed. So So where exactly do we call the function? We call the function inside the main program. For that, let's see the syntax of a function. I completely forget to tell about that. The syntax is as follows: def, which means definition, and the function name, and a parameter followed by a colon. And the next line is indented, which means it is a code block that belongs to the function. Now, after the function is completed, the main block of code, we can write the main block of code. So inside the main block of code, whenever we call a function, we have to call it like this: function name and an argument. Whatever the value we give in the argument gets stored in the parameter. So now let's say we have three lines of code inside the main program. So we have a print statement that prints start. Next, the function is being called, and then a print statement that prints finish. Now let's run the program. As you can see, the output is start, hello there, welcome, please subscribe to Supporting Tech, and then finish. So please don't forget to subscribe to Supporting Tech. So what exactly happened here? Let's see how the code flows when in this program. First, when Python runs the code, the control starts at the main program. So first it's print start, and then it reads greeting user, which is a function call, and so it goes here to the line 32 and and prints hello there, and the next line print welcome, please subscribe to Supporting Tech, and then once the function ends, the control comes back to line 40, and then it prints finish. Also, we have to remember that we can call a function only after defining it. So what exactly does that mean? So let's say we are defining the function after we are calling it. In this case, we have a warning saying greeting user, that is the function name, is not defined because we have defined the function only after calling the function. So we always have to define the function first before calling it. If the function is above, that is defined before the main code, then it gets executed. Otherwise, if it is below the code, then we get a warning unresolved reference, which means Python does not know what is the function. So we always define the function first and then call it. Now let's learn about parameters. In previous videos, we saw some inbuilt functions. Now we will be learning about user-defined functions. So what exactly is the difference do you notice while you are looking at print function and the greeting user function? The difference is that the print function takes some information, in this case a string. Start is a string and finish is a string. But the greeting function doesn't take any information. So the information that is being passed to the function is called a parameter. So in print function, start and finish are parameters. I mean, they are arguments actually, but once these values go to the print function, they become parameters. Let's see how that works. So let's say we have to pass the username as a parameter to the greeting function, I mean greeting user function, so that we can print the name instead of there. So we give, let's give a name as techie, and here we have to receive the parameter. Let's give it a name, give it a label name. Now the value that is being passed in the function call gets stored in this variable or the parameter. This is not actually a variable, it's called a parameter in this parameter name. Now if we want to use the parameter, we can use it just like we use a variable. So now let's run this function, I mean the program. See, this time instead of there, we get hello techie. So what exactly is a parameter? These parameters are placeholders for receiving information. So the name here is a parameter as we already said, and we can pass a value of variable when calling the function. So this is the value which is being passed to the function when the function is being called. Techie is the value. When we pass this value, the name parameter will set to the value that is being passed. So the parameter resembles a variable, but the scope of this parameter is only within the function. So parameters are like local variables. So this name can be used only within the scope of the function, that is between these two lines. Now let's say you have to greet another person and their name is. Typically, without a function, we have to write the whole code again. But with the help of function, we can reuse the code, and this is the benefit of defining a function. Now, if we run the code, we will see the output as start, hello techie, welcome, please subscribe to supporting tech, hello Mike, welcome, please subscribe to supporting tech, and then finish. Now, what you have to remember is that if we have parameter in a function, we have to pass the same number of values when calling the function. If we don't provide the required parameters while calling the function, then it shows an error, which is type error. So let's try that out. Here, let's check what happens if we don't give a value when calling the function in the program. As you can see, we get an error. It says missing one required positional argument. So argument is the variable that we supply to the function. So parameters are the placeholders that are defined in a function for receiving information, and arguments are the actual piece of information. They are not the same. We can also define multiple parameter for a function. For example, let's say we give two parameters, Mike and Ross. So since we are giving two values when calling the function, there must be two parameters in the main in the function. So let's say last name, or this is the first name, and another one is last name. So here, let's say first name and gap and last name. Now let's run the code. You will see the output as Mike Ross. This is how we pass multiple values to the multiple parameters in a function. We will learn about arguments, that is mainly about keyword arguments, in the upcoming videos.